it is that same court that made a ruling in their favor. Now, you can imagine if at that point, as Azimio la Umoja, we had said we don't recognize that court ruling. You can imagine what would have happened if we disobeyed that court order.
Baba didn't say that.
Baba never said, no,
you know you're putting words in his mouth.
Baba never said, did you hear him talk about 2027? Jed, this is the time for William Samoei Ruto to now bring the brigade. Those people who are stationed in the State House, the prayer warriors, to pray. I'm hoping that they are praying. They are praying, they should pray today. They should pray, they should pray. They should kneel down and pray. Because anything short of Raila not winning this thing,
yes,
anything short of Mungu, this man is going home. So those people who are dreaming, let them continue dreaming. And it's a small minority, small group of people. These are people who are thinking from their stomachs. These are people who are out there doing business with the Kenya Kwanza government. And we know them.
And so
we know them.
So they will not split the party.
And we know them. They split the party for how? Please have some respect.
I'm talking about Raila's followers. From Nyanza to Coast.
We are not going to be inherited.
To Northeastern. These followers that voted for Raila.
We are not going to be inherited. There's nothing to inherit. And unfortunately, you have somebody in State House who is not thinking. The guy is not thinking. You know, this is a year of circumcision. Ukicheza, tutakupeleka huko kwa idumi. Mapangale. This is not his personal house. This is not Sogoi. I think the president needs to stop being simplistic.
Is there a vacuum post Raila?
Play one clip where Ruto has spoken truthfully.
This particular Friday, I'm so grateful that you've joined us once again on this Valentine's Day. Hope you're feeling loved together with your family. You are safe and well. My conversation for today is all about Raila's AUC bid. We'll know the results on Sunday. I believe we will know whether he'll be back in the country for politics or he will stay in Addis to lead the African Union. I'm here with Philip Kisia. Philip Kisia is a leadership and governance expert, former Nairobi town clerk, ex-KICC CEO. He comes here every Friday, says it as he sees it. How are you doing today?
Well, Jed, I'm good.
You well?
I was hoping that at least, even if I don't deserve Valentine flowers, you would have brought me a bottle of wine.
But you know...
A bottle of wine would have done.
You know we only take it to women. Come on.
What about a bottle of wine?
But,
anyway, Jed, let me then take this opportunity to wish my wife, Jessie, a happy Valentine.
Oh.
She's at work in the farm, and I'm hoping that she can enjoy it today. Also, let me wish all my daughters. Man, I have many. Baby Ivana, my little baby. Of course, Gami, Natalia, Natasha, and all the women of this world. You know, they make this world beautiful. They make this world what it is. Without women, I don't think we would even be here today.
True that.
So thank you. Thank you for keeping men on check. Because all these men, excluding me, are bure kabisa.
Maybe I should exclude myself too. But just as always, before we get to your highlights, what have you been reflecting on this particular week?
You know, Jed, February is normally a very hard month for me. Because it is a month that my late mother passed on. Actually, 14th was her last night on earth, because she died on 15th at about 11 a.m. So it's normally a difficult month for me, and I take time to reflect on her teachings. You know, she was a very Kali mama. And I keep on telling people that if you think I'm successful, then the biggest role in my success has been my mother. Because she brought us well, she taught us about being fair, she taught us about being honest, she taught us about high levels of integrity, love to people, love to family, hard work. And Jed, cleanliness, my boy. You know, my mother only had boys, and I can tell you, oh man, she used a kiboko on us. Yeah, so you you had to keep yourself very tidy, very smart, all the time. So hygiene to her was next to God, and she would not have allowed anybody to eat her. And of course, in that context, I know by the time she was passing on, and I think this one is very significant because RAILA'S contest is actually starting tomorrow, and my mother died on the same day.
Okay.
And I know she would have wished to have a tete-a-tete with Raila, but that didn't happen. So I'm asking my mother, who is in heaven, to pray for Raila so that Raila can come out victorious. I know at some point you shall connect. I know that when you're celebrating your 10th anniversary next year, I'll make sure that he comes to see you by your graveside. And but I know you are in heaven. Of course, Mom, things are happening here. Our children are being abducted. Others have been murdered. People are starving. The government has decided to exchange our pay slips with a tax slip. You know, so we are also about just to die from the pain that is being inflicted by this Kenya Kwanza government. We have seen a lot of mismanagement. There's corruption, there's tribalism. Mom, pray for this country so that the pain that people are going through can be suffered, can be reduced. But most important, Mom, please send the angels to collect these bad people from earth and take them binguni.
Oh.
Yeah, these people who said mambo ni matatu, jela, mbinguni,
Or leave
and
the
uhame. So please send the angels kuhamisha hao waende mbinguni on our behalf,
Didn't think
because
to get
they are the ones who are praying, and they say the mambo ni matatu. But we want them, if they ever go, let them go to heaven, not to hell. Despite them all the pain they have inflicted on the people, we are praying that when it happens, that God will be merciful, and God is merciful, that they'll come and join you in heaven.
What a reflection always.
Now the other one,
yeah.
Jed, the last one, your friend Ethan. Ethan, the other day when I was driving him to school, he asked me a very difficult question. He asked me, how come Mr. Ruto is heartless? And I said, what are you talking about? He said, yes, Mr. Ruto is so heartless, and he's only, I know, has a fragment of a heart. Yeah? And he only cares for his children. But the larger Kenyan population is looking for a fragment, just a fragment, just a fraction to understand where their children are. The lost children, those who have been disappeared, who have not been seen, who have not been found. Then again, he told me something very profound. He said, you know, Dad, as you people are spending too much time talking and in meetings, Mr. Ruto is allowing people to come to Kenya from Somalia, from Rwanda, from Burundi, from Uganda, from TZ, to come and get Kenyan IDs. I don't know who told him. But when I asked him, he said he read in the internet. Okay? I said, okay. So he asked me whether that is right. I said, of course it's not right. The Kenyan ID should only be issued to the people who qualify to be Kenyans. And that's part of gerrymandering, but that's okay. I doubt whether he'll get 1 million votes out of that effort. But what I'm asking him then to do is to make sure that the 10 million strong Gen Zs who have no IDs access IDs. Remove that 1,000 shillings. These 10 million young people have no jobs. They're either in college or they're tamacking. Please remove that 1,000 bob they cannot afford and issue them with IDs straight. Just like you're issuing IDs with people at the borders. Issue IDs to our children, 10 million strong.
Ethan came up with that.
That's Ethan. That's Ethan for you. So he told me that as you're snoozing here, guys doing stuff.
So Gen Zs are actually watching, they are saying. But before we get to talk about AU, Kisia, your highlights, what have you seen this week that you think we should talk about even before we get into Raila?
Well, very interesting stuff. And I want you to look for that short video where Azimio, after Azimio was declared the majority party, okay? When they were declared the majority party, they took over, or they attempted to take over. And Junet, in that moment, addressed Kenyans as majority leader, at least majority leader de jure.
That's Junet Mohammed. What are we looking at? What are we saying? Is ODM, is Azimio getting back as it was, or we will see Kenya Kwanza as majority and then parliament as it was before?
You know, forget about, the fact is, whether Moses, Masika, Wetangula likes it or not, he is ruling notwithstanding. Azimio la Umoja is a majority leader. Even if they have denied that opportunity in parliament, they are the majority in the public eye. So we are the majority. And we have the majority of the Kenyans behind us. So what was really disturbing is to see, despite the fact, there's this case that was sent by, to court by my friend Njeru, E202 of 2023 versus Kenya Kwanza and others. And there was a court ruling, historic, where a 3-bench judge ruled that indeed Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance Coalition Party is indeed the majority. That was a court ruling. But then we live in a country where the government, and by extension, the Speaker of the Assembly, does not recognize, does not respect the rule of law. You see, it is the same court, the same court they are disobeying. It is the same court that declared or affirmed their victory. It is the same court that has made Moses Masika Wetangula Speaker. Because it is that same court that made a ruling in their favor. Now, you can imagine if at that point, as Azimio la Umoja, we had said we don't recognize that court ruling.
Hi there, my name is Nongo Njao, property consultant at 1442 Kusini. We are a new project coming up in South B, Sana area. We are close to Mombasa Road, about 700 meters to Mombasa Road. We also have a bunch of amenities around us, schools, hospitals, mosques, churches, and Capital Center is only a stone throws away. I will want to tell you about our 1-bedroom, which is going for 5.45 million, and our 2-bedroom going for 7.45 million shillings. Our 2-bedroom is a master and suite, and all our units feature Adobe areas. Next weekend, we are going to be having our open day on the 15th of February 2025. I want to invite you who is looking for your first home, or you who is looking to add on to your real estate portfolio. Please make your way to our open day. We are going to be having discounts. We're also going to be having mortgage representatives from cooperative banks to take you through the mortgage that they have on offer. There's going to be great food, and all in all, it's going to be a great forum to network and meet somebody new. Let's see you on 1442 Kusini next Saturday for our open day.
You can imagine what would have happened if we disobeyed that court order that was made by the Supreme Court of Kenya. You can imagine what would have happened if we disobeyed it as Kenyans. And we are over 7 million people who voted for Raila. You can imagine the chaos that this country would have found itself in if we had said, no, we don't accept the ruling. So it is very disturbing that when a court ruling has been made which does not favor the Kenya Kwanza administration and its appendages, that they see it fit to disregard a court ruling. Therefore, Speaker Wetangula, and I want him to mark my words, because he's my friend, Speaker Wetangula has a very deep understanding of the law. Speaker Wetangula is politically suave. Speaker Wetangula is somebody I respect. Speaker Wetangula is somebody who has a lot of experience in politics. In fact, that's why he has survived this long, out of survival, in a very turbulent political environment. He has survived. But this time round, I think he got it wrong. This time round. So, but again, you can understand why Speaker Wetangula made that ruling. Because he is between a hard place and a rock. You can imagine if he had ruled against the Kenya Kwanza government. And William Samoei Ruto is fully aware that this man has broken the law. He's holding the office of the speaker, and he's also holding a political party seat. He's in conflict. So he would have disorganized Moses Wetangula. But so you can understand why Moses Wetangula made that ruling. But having said that, Wetangula should not have made such a fundamental mistake because of just the trappings of power. You know, he wants to survive. And he knows that his survival is based on how well he responds to the needs of William Samoei Ruto. But I can tell my friend, Speaker Moses Masika Wetangula, this time round, there is no escape route.
What do you mean?
There is no escape, because I can tell you, when you saw Junet saying that he has been summoned, you think Junet would have gone to State House without clearance?
That is where I was going. That is where I was going.
Would he have gone to State House without being cleared?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's cleared. And you think they went there to eat mandazi? I'm sure they must have said, as ODM, I'm sure they must have said, if you want us to go slow in this matter, then one, Moses Masika Wetangula must go. There must be a give and take. We shall allow you to, to manage Parliament the way it is. But this is how you must pay us back. And for William Ruto, you know, what a moment. Because he will say, you know, Moses have been trying to help you. But you can see how heavy these people are becoming. We have no option but to release you, and you go back and continue leading your group, your party, Ford Kenya, but not as a speaker, as a party leader. So that's a job that is awaiting. I think that's a job that is awaiting my brother Moses Masika Wetangula.
Wasn't there an MOU signed, Kisia, that they will get the speaker's seat, you know, Mudavadi will get the prime cabinet position? How can he then be removed from that seat by the president? Let
me tell you, he was just given. What do you mean? Wetangula has how many MPs? 4. He can be removed even this evening. He has 4. The rest belong to who? The rest of UDA belong to one William Samoei Arap Chirichiri Ruto. And then the rest belong to Raila. And then you have some little pockets belonging to one or two other. No, and then the other big majority, sizable number, belongs to Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. The others have 2, 3, namnayo. Do you think they have an impact? So the people who can force an impact, the people have impact, only 3. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, Samoei Ruto, and Jacom. The rest are flower girls.
They can be done away with.
The rest are flower girls. They can be dropped after Valentine, today. I am telling you.
Next time,
I am telling you.
We talk about
I am telling you. Raila. Mark my words. And Moses Masika Wetangula may be dropped like a hot potato.
There's a video you shared with me earlier about this lady talking about the situation in the country. Let's watch it.
Kwa sababu munafinya mama boga, munabiana maneno ya ma-PhD. Mimi sina PhD, lakini utajua mama boga, this time I'm the one who have a PhD in this Kenya. Na Ruto ukirudi hii Kenya, haki ya Mungu utajua mama boga hana akili mzuri. Pale kanali kwa na madigiri yenu na magoroki yenu ya madigiri na ma-PhD. Lakini you know that me this kiodo imenipea PhD. Wewe unasema ukitaka experience ya miaka 30, mimi niko na experience yako ya miaka 2, lakini heri kukaa na shetani kuliko kukaa na serikali kama hii atakataka serikali ya shetani pofu. Na utajua mama boga amechoka.
You shared with me this video, told me you're going to speak about it. This lady over here, she's saying Kenya is going to the dogs.
No, you see, you're being polite. And we both listen to the video. Jane, sometimes you amaze me. Because you see, the lady is very clear. And you being a Gen Z, you should even be clearer than that Mamboga.
Yeah.
What he has said, Jed, if you don't want it to come out of your mouth, he has said that William Samoei Arap Ruto, Sugoi Express, 2027. Sugoi Express. And he has said, Bwana President, if you think that Mamambogas, they don't have that, what you call pengine hana degree, it is true. Pengine hana degree, PhD. But they are going to teach you a lesson, one lesson. That PhD they have, pengine hana degree, is taking you straight to Sugoi, home. Not because of anything, not because you come from a poor background, but because of the pain, because of the things that you have done to the common person. You promised them heaven, you have taken them to hell, and you have left them, not just taking them to hell, you have allowed them to burn in hell like charcoal. So they are saying, they are waiting for you, that if you are lucky to get to 2027, if you are lucky, Sugoi Express, just be ready. In fact, what the mama is saying, William, start packing now. So sometimes I wonder where William is going to get votes from. The same Mamambogas who voted for him are saying, homebound.
Homebound it is.
Yes.
I want to talk about AUC, but there's something interesting that happened over the week. During a prayer meeting for Raila Odinga to go to actually win the African Union chairmanship, Johnson Sakaja, the governor for Nairobi, was there. And it seemed like Raila had endorsed him for governor in 2027. Kisia is a member of ODM. Before we even talk about AU and what is happening, whether the political ramification of it all, what do you make of this? Raila endorsing Sakaja. Most people would have expected either Babu Wino or Timo Nyunyi.
My friend, why are you putting...
He hasn't.
Why? Where did you hear Raila endorsing Johnson Arthur Sakaja? Where? My party leader is a father for everybody. He's a father, he's Baba. And even as my friend Babu said, even a neighbor's child, he belongs to Baba. But Baba is so clear that he has his own biological children. But he cannot throw away a neighbor's child. So what Baba was saying, simply saying, is that allow this young man, who is like my son, just allow him to complete his term. Don't give him hell. Allow him to complete his term. Once he has completed his term, then we escort him home, wherever home is for him.
Baba didn't say that.
Baba never said, no,
You know you're
Baba,
putting words in his mouth.
Baba never said, did you hear him talk about 2027? He said, no, I just want stability in Nairobi. Allow stability. He's a current governor. We all want to support him. There is no way Baba can leave his own children in ODM to go and take care of another person's child when he has his own children. And even if that child must come, there's a way of coming. You come and queue because there are other children ahead of you. So don't put words in Baba's mouth. There's no way Baba has endorsed anybody. There's no, in fact, let me tell you, even if Baba was to endorse, I'm seeing Arthur having a problem with the Gen Z. I can see that. Nairobi has been a one-term, arrangement, because all the governors you have elected, you've sent them home after one term. Kidero was one term. The other friend, Mike Sonko, could not even complete. The other girl came, she went home. Now we have Arthur. The same system will follow. I'm hoping that now the people of Nairobi understand what the office of the governor entails. It is not a joke. You cannot afford to have jokers in that office. You must have people with serious capabilities, serious managerial experience.
Like you.
Like PK. Like PK.
PK ED now.
Like PK. Because you see,
Yeah.
I mean, I was there for 3 years and you saw what we did.
Yes.
So let us leave it there, Jed. Don't start forcing Baba to endorse people.
Yeah.
Baba is Baba. And, you know, even our neighbor's child is below, you know, I mean, he will call Baba Baba. So what do you expect him to do?
Yeah.
To ask us to send Sakaja home before 2027?
Maybe that's what people are thinking.
No. Baba is Baba.
Baba is a Baba for everyone.
Baba is a Baba for everybody.
Raila Odinga's AUC bid carries a lot of political weight, especially for Kenyans here, not just for him personally. If he wins, he might want to come back and vie for presidency in 2027. If he loses, no, if he wins, he'll go to Addis and stay there. If he loses, he'll come back, probably vie for presidency in 2027, actually endorsing many people. Many people would want to see him in rallies. Some believe he's the voice of the opposition, and without him, there is no opposition. Many Kenyans, those who support him, including those from Bunge la Wananchi, says if Raila loses, Ruto should go back to Sugoi because they will not support him. That is my conversation today with Philip Kisia, but I want to start from this, Kisia. What are the chances of Raila Odinga winning AUC from where you sit?
First of all, Jed, let's put this thing into context.
Okay.
The first time Kenyan put up a candidate was Amina Mohamed in 2017. She did extremely well, so number 2, despite the fact that we didn't get support even from East Africa. Some of our East African neighbors and partners abandoned our candidate at the last minute. And that's why Amina never made it as chairperson. This time round, with the insistence of former president of Nigeria, Obasanjo, who came pleading, asking for Baba to run for this AU. After a lot of consultation and deep reflection, Raila Amolo Odinga accepted to go to AU as chairperson. So people are talking as if it's a do or die for Baba. It's not a do or die. In fact, it is a do or die for William Samoei Ruto.
Oh.
Yes.
You're changing it round.
I'm telling you, Jed, if Raila doesn't make it by some heavenly coincidence, because you can see Raila, the experience that Raila has, he has been the chairman of infrastructure for Africa. You saw what he did. He has fought for democracy all over Africa, promoting democracy. He has fought for this country. He has a stellar record. So Raila does not need anything. Raila just wants to serve for whatever years God will give him to be on earth. So Raila is not desperate for anything. The person who is so desperate is one William Samoei Ruto.
He has to make Raila win.
If by some heavenly coincidence, Baba does not make it, William Samoei Ruto, and I agree with Bunge la Wananchi, if Baba does not make it, Ruto should start packing. In fact, Ruto should start packing from Sunday because it will be fire. We shall now make this conclusion that this man was sending Baba to a slaughterhouse. Because he's the president of the Republic of Kenya. He's the chairman of something in AU.
East Africa,
East African something. You mean he could not mobilize East Africa and other regions to vote for Baba? We shall just conclude that he wanted to embarrass Baba, that he was sending Baba to the slaughterhouse, and therefore, Jed, you can take it from me as ODM. I remember ODM. We shall also send him packing. Actually, we shall send him packing from next week. So it is to his advantage that he does everything. In fact, Jed, this is the time for William Samoei Ruto to now bring the brigade. Those people who are stationed in State House, the prayer warriors, to pray. I'm hoping that they are praying. They are praying. They should pray today. They should pray. They should pray. They should kneel down and pray. Because anything short of Raila not winning this thing,
Yes.
anything short of Mungu, this man is going home.
Welcome to Herencia, the heartland of good living, where you belong. A community with endless possibilities. Your path to discovering a master plan gated community that matches your ambitions. Get yourself this must-have piece of paradise with state-of-the-art amenities, constant water supply, good security, tarmac roads, and much more. The best part, availability of buy and build financing services. Don't wait. Contact us today or visit our offices for more info. Buy and build your way at Herencia, the heartland of good living.
You're speaking like those guys
This-
from Bungalow, aren't you?
I am telling you, this man is going home. But what is most important, Jed, and this you must also take notes. Sometimes you don't take notes, Jed. Take notes.
Okay.
Raila has very many options. Raila is not desperate. Raila has won so many things, he has lost a few. If Raila, through some heavenly coincidence, he doesn't make it, comes back. Option number one, he can decide to retire peacefully because he has a record. Okay? You can't break that record.
Yeah.
He can decide. But who told you that Raila is going to retire with all the energy that Raila has? Number two, he should come and be a kingmaker because he's leaving behind a team as Mio La Umoja, One Kenya Coalition Party. He has a team, a strong team. We want him to come and hold our hands and endorse and support us so that we can remove this government. Because that was his intention. His intention was to occupy State House. His intention was not to have his competitor occupying State House. Ruto remains a competitor yesterday and today. Therefore, that's the second option that he has. The third option,
The others.
I'm telling you, option number 3
Yeah.
is to force this government to go home before 2027. Yes, to force them to go home before 2027. But the final one, because Raila is a statesman and a gentleman, he may allow him to start packing his things and send him home in 2027.
As a presidential candidate?
No, Baba now is beyond. You know, now Baba has gone to Africa. He's the president of Africa. Baba is the president of Africa. You can't acquire a PhD.
You've already
And
made
then-
him president.
Yes, president. He's
Of
the
Africa.
president. Yeah, president. So Baba, my friend,
Yeah.
when Baba comes back, he's coming here to be a kingmaker.
Simple as
Don't
that.
ask him now to start being a chairman of a cattle dip. The president. President of what? He's already president of Africa.
What are just the chances? Realistically, if you look at it, the SADC is calling for, that community to actually support the candidate from Madagascar. There's the Islamic community that was calling for the candidate from Djibouti to be supported. Does Raila have a winning chance?
Raila, first of all, is a candidate unto himself. So we are presenting one Raila Amolo Odinga that does not need a lot of introduction. Actually, he needs no introduction. And you can see the way he relates even with other heads of state. He's just like a head of state himself. Okay? So Raila has personal relationships with these people. Then look at the experience that Raila is bringing on board. But most fundamentally is the fact that Raila, where Africa is today, we need to transform African Union. Because if we don't take this moment to transform African Union in the next 4 years, African Union will be irrelevant. You saw that small crisis that we went through and we're still going through. DRC. Nobody's there to manage it. So you need somebody of Raila's stature who can look at Kagame in the face and say, you know, come on, shut up. Let us be serious here and talk. We are ruining Africa. We must deal with this matter. We don't want people who go there and coiling with their tails between their legs. They can't even face people like Paul Kagame or face Cyril Ramaphosa or face Museveni. We need Raila. Okay?
Yeah.
So, and Raila fits the bill. So that's why I said, Jed, there's no favor that Raila is being done. We need Raila in that office. But unfortunately, you know, this is again politics. While Raila has gone around Africa, I think he has made 40-something heads of state, talking to them on a personal level. Some of them are his personal friends. I said this about 9, 10, 11 months ago. I said there are challenges in the north, where Obasanjo does not see eye to eye with the current president. Central African Republic, where that man is very friendly to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. I don't know, I didn't see Uhuru going there to ask for a vote, taking a flight. I don't know, there's no facilitated going there. I didn't see strong efforts being made with SADC. I didn't even see very strong efforts being made to persuade the guy from Madagascar to drop down. Now, this Madagascan has thrown the spanner in the works. You know why? 16 SADC members. From nowhere, they have grouped and they said, we have our own. How many votes are we talking about? 49. 49, Jed. If 16 go, it will force us to go to round 2. Most likely. Because 16 votes of 49 is what? Is almost a third. It means that the other person may not even make a third. But because see, round 2, one person has to be dropped. So let's assume, and this is what I'm predicting, that out of the 16 SADC members, Raila will take a share out of the 16. That this guy, it has a long name, Randriamanadarato, he'll probably get maybe 8, 9, thereabout, maybe 10. But Raila will take the rest. Therefore, most likely Raila will probably, out of the 3 candidates, Raila will be top with about 24 votes. That's my prediction. And then the other 2 will follow. Now, most likely the guy from Djibouti comes in number 2. Then the card,
It's with
the card, the person to make the king will be this guy from Madagascar. The guy nobody's paying attention to. From nowhere, spanning the works. Okay? So, if our advising Raila's team, the focus now should shift to SADC. Yeah? A lot of discussions, negotiations. Okay? That even if you are going to compete in round 1, please, we need your votes, the entire 16 votes in round 2. We must get all the votes in round 2. And in return, because this is give and take. That you are giving us 16 votes, this is what we shall give you in return. So I am assuming that the people who are in Raila's delegation and Musalia, that they have shifted gear and they are talking to these guys, the SADC guys, because these are the people who will make Raila the chairman of AU round 2.
So the chances.
It is as simple as that.
So realistically, you look at it, things are difficult.
Not difficult.
That's what you've portrayed.
I've not said they're difficult. I've said, you know, these guys were not strategic.
Yeah.
They ignored this guy from Madagascar, saying this guy will get 1 or 2 votes. And from nowhere, SADC comes together. It means that the team didn't pay attention or they lacked a strategy. people should have prevailed upon this candidate to drop. But just as well, he's there, he's shown his hand, now we know we're supporting him, but come round 2, I am confident that this guy from Madagascar will support, and the SADC group region will support Raila. I am so confident, Jed.
Let's look at the chances of him winning. Come back to Kenya. Saboti MP says if he wins, and then we have to relook at what ODM is doing, because it's likely that there is a team that would want to be in Ruto's side because of Raila, and there's a team that would want to oppose Ruto and be part of the opposition. From where you sit, what are the chances of ODM splitting into 2?
ODM?
Yes.
ODM remain one. ODM is about ideals. We have very strong ideals. We have a philosophy which is strong. ODM is not a briefcase party that does not believe in anything. Of course, you know, Jed, and we've said this before, that when a father is exiting the stage, the children jostle for power. This one wants to take over, this one, you know, they want to share what the father is leaving behind. But I can tell you, ODM will remain strong because we know, and the people who believe in the ideology of our ODM will stand strong, will stand firm with the people, because the ODM belongs to the people. ODM is a movement. ODM is not a kiosk that you can sell in the market. And you can just sell the way you sell eggs. Okay? No. So those people who are dreaming, let them continue dreaming. And it's a small minority, small group of people. These are people who are thinking from their stomachs. These are people who are out there doing business with the Kenya Kwanza government. And we know them.
And so
we know them.
So they will not split the party.
And we know them. They split the party for how?
What will happen to
They are
them?
not with the people.
They'll
They
have
are
to
not
leave
with
the
the
party.
people. They are not with the party. They don't stand for our ideals. They don't stand for anything. They stand for their stomachs. So the only thing they will disappear with are their stomachs. But ODM will remain.
Do you think there's a chance?
There's no way ODM is going anywhere.
Do you think there's a
Take
chance
it
if
from me.
Raila wins of him persuading ODM to be part of Kenya Kwanza in some
There's
sort?
no way. How can you be? You see, Jed, my party leader has been very clear. He only donated experts. He has never joined government. And I've asked this, the way I'm having a conversation with you, I've had with him, and I've asked him, Mzee, tell me, look at me straight in my eyes, and tell me, Mzee, are we part of this thing? He said, no. You know me, Omwami. Omwami calls me Omwami. Omwami, you know me. There's no way I can join these people. You know, we're Kenyans. Now they need for help. I've given them help. So please, I hope I've persuaded you that Raila has not joined the Kenya Kwanza government. He has no intention of joining the Kenya Kwanza government. Whether it is broad-based, bread-based, blood-based. Raila is not going to be part of that unit. We have our own unit called ODM. We are part of Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Coalition Party. How can we now join another one? In any event, they can fold and join ODM, but you will vet them. We shall vet them. We shall vet, including Ruto, if he wants to join ODM, or if he wants to join Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Coalition Party. We shall vet him. And if he does not pass, and you know I'm the AD,
Yeah.
I'll vet him. And I don't see him passing. I don't see him. He cannot qualify to be a member of ODM. He cannot qualify to join Azimio la Umoja. He can't qualify. Because we are putting in stringent measures, rules, regulations of joining Azimio la Umoja. We are not going to allow people who are not forthright. We are not going to allow people who have blood on their hands, Gen Z, blood. As AD, I will not allow. If you have blood of the Gen Z on your hands, look for a home elsewhere. not Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Coalition Party.
That is, if
Or ODM for that matter.
we're talking about if Raila wins and, you know, supports Ruto, chances of ODM. But what if he loses, AU, comes back to Kenya? Does he have a place in the opposition? Of course, you've said he can come and rally people behind him and actually be part of the opposition. But we're looking at Fred Matiang'i being, you know, endorsed by Jubilee. And, you know, there are other people that are coming out as potential candidates. Could Raila actually have a place in the opposition? Kalonzo says, let him come liberate Kenyans with us. But now, if these names are coming up, will Raila have a big place in the opposition, probably as its leader?
Let me tell you, you know, there are some people who are daydreaming. And there are some people who are praying that, you know, that through some heavenly coincidence, if something happens that and Raila doesn't make it, that they can inherit. There's nothing to inherit. There's a movement called Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Coalition Party, with its own ideals and principles. Is a movement of the people. Okay? I've told you, Jed, if Raila, for whatever reason, or even is elected and say, I've changed my mind, he comes back. He's coming back with the mandate of liberating Kenya. Okay? Raila, for him, is not a do or die to become president. Raila has won elections so many times. And you know, he comes to a point and says, you know, this nation is greater than all of us. During Kibaki, so he said, okay, no sumokate. He agreed, although he had won elections. When they stole his elections in 2017, they stole elections, and Baba sat down with Uhuru, and Uhuru said, now allow me, because I'm already sitting on this thing. Please don't remove me. Just stabilize me and allow me to finish my term, which he did. Raila is selfless. Raila is not dying to be president. What has Raila not seen? Therefore, just relax. 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 Your worry should not be about Raila. Your worry should not be about Matiang'i. Your people mentioned Matiang'i. He himself has he declared? When you see a man passing here and there's a beautiful girl here, and the man is just looking and he has not said anything, why are you speaking on his behalf? Why are you speaking on behalf of people? I assume that you know now. I assume that Jed, you know, is in love with this girl. Jed has not even made any pronouncement. See, Jed is a man. He has a mouth.
Yes.
He has eyes.
Yes.
If he has seen something good and he wants, he will say it.
Yes.
So when time comes and Matiang'i wants to make his pronouncements, he'll make pronouncements.
So this
Because
talks
a man,
of Jubilee
is
endorsing...
you know, I'm lady, my friend. And I can tell you that I don't think the party leader of Jubilee will be in a hurry to endorse anybody. I don't think he'll be in a hurry. He's very cautious. He will not want to repeat the mistake he made in 2022. This time round, we must get it correctly. This time round, our candidate is going to State House. There is no room for making mistakes. There is no room of pata potea. Pata potea. We don't have that space. We don't have that time. We are getting it right. 100%. And I can tell you, our coalition is occupying State House in 2027 or before 2027. Therefore, you know, this NIS and government machinery, you know, we know their tricks. We are fully out of their tricks, trying to prop up people, saying, oh, this one is maybe once, this one once. No. No.
You brought state
we
machinery, state propaganda.
We are very smart. This coalition of ours has smart people. And you know, we've learned from our mistakes. We are not repeating our mistakes. Okay? We are not going to repeat the mistakes we made in 2027.
You said something interesting when you talked about Raila. You said Ruto needs him more than anyone else. Of course, Ruto has thrown his full support for him when it comes to AUC. And the question is, can Ruto inherit his bloc if Raila wins? And on the flip side, what are the chances that Raila can come and actually destabilize Ruto completely if he loses.
Jed,
Talk to me about that.
listen, Jed. You think ODM or Azimio Moja One Kenya coalition is a widow that wants to be inherited? Is that what you're saying?
The block.
Are you saying
Raila's
that we are a
followers.
widow, we want to be inherited?
Raila's followers.
We are not going to be inherited by anybody. Raila is our coalition leader. When he now is exiting, we have other leaders who are taking over. And there is nothing to inherit. So if you are suggesting by any iota of my imagination
Yeah.
that William Samoei Ruto will inherit anything, go and tell William there's nothing to be inherited in Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition party. There is nothing to inherit in ODM. ODM and the coalition partners have their own. And we are organizing ourselves. And we are not widowed. We are not looking for any man just because the party leader is about to take other challenges.
Yeah.
Who say, Jed, please have some respect.
I'm talking about Raila's followers. From
There's
Nyanza
we are
to
not
Coast
we are not going to be inherited.
to Northeastern. These followers that voted for Raila.
We are not going to be inherited. There's nothing to inherit. We know where we belong. We know our ideals. We know our philosophy. We know our ideology. And William Ruto does not fit in. So how is he going to inherit? What is he inheriting?
What he was doing in Western.
What is inheriting?
Doing with development tours. What he has been doing in Northeastern.
Now-
These are Raila's followers in those regions.
You know, we know Ruto's trickery. We know Ruto's dishonesty. What development are you talking about? In Western, he promised 1,000 kilometers of roads. 1,000. Has he built 10? Has he built 10? I keep on reminding you, he even promised you pantos.
Yeah.
Have you been given those pantos? He promised diapers. Have they been given?
Yeah.
He promised to revive sugar industry. He's sending some fake checks saying at the bonus. How can a company that is under receivership give bonuses, pay bonuses? A company is under receivership.
Yeah.
I mean, this man is taking us for idiots. We're not idiots. Jed, we are not stupid.
Yeah.
Just in case you think we are not. Western Kenya, man, we have brains. Do you know the brains come from Western Kenya? So take your stupidity elsewhere. Take your stupidity elsewhere.
Yeah.
And we know you're not honest anyway. We know you're not honest.
No.
Anyway, you see, pandos, what, barabara, there's nothing. You just say, oh, this barabara, I don't know where. This one will be done. Those are projects. That is hot air. The hot air. There's no project.
When we're starting...
Now, a whole president, Jed, a whole president is going to launch a transformer. Magai,
you
a
say...
whole president.
Listen.
Jed,
Yeah.
a whole president is going to open a primary school done by Safaricom Foundation.
Yeah.
A whole president. A whole president is going to open, launch a water tap. A president should do big stuff, big job, big stuff. Like coming to Vihiga and saying, you know what, I'm not launching. This launching business should lead to MCAs.
Yeah.
MCAs. He should come and commission serious projects. This is 10 billion, I've done. Yeah? Now, Vihiga, electricity, I've added another 100,000 houses on the. But now small things like transformers, those are jobs to be done by MCAs. Like now Mumias.
Yeah.
Mumias, that job of issuing some small little checks, that's a job of an HR manager or a chairman of the board. But anyway, that's our president. He decided to go to Mumias to issue some small checks.
I want us to look at the flip side. If there's something you mark guide about at the beginning, he said if Raila loses AU, Ruto should worry. That's what you said. I want us to look at this flip side. What can Raila actually do if he comes back to the country, loses AU and decides not to retire, decides not to wait for 2027 and says Ruto must go now?
Oh, but I told you, Jed, why are you not listening? I said he should start packing. In fact, if the announcement is made on by some heavenly coincidence. So if our Ruto and Rachel, because they're enjoying the trappings of power, they're enjoying it, and that's why they even order second. They're dreaming of a second term even before the first term ends. They're dreaming, so they really want this. They really want to be in power. If I were him, I'll be praying. If I were him, instead of sending 100 MPs to Ethiopia, Addis, he should have sent those prayer warriors. Maybe they would have prayed. Those 100, the state house, they should have taken to kneel down and pray. Because I am telling you, Jed, if our candidate, we shall smell betrayal, we shall see betrayal, and we shall call out William for who he is, a dishonest person. He must deliver this thing tomorrow. He must deliver.
If he doesn't,
he comes back on Sunday and starts packing. Sugoi Express.
You know, when you talk about Raila coming back and of course, giving Ruto a run for his money, I'm thinking about him being a defining figure when it comes to the opposition in this country. Yes. But some say, of late, or should we say over the past decade, he has been in government with Uhuru, he has been now with Ruto, I believe for AU. Do you think when he comes back, he'll still make the same what people call mistakes? Handshake with Uhuru, that this arrangement with Ruto, that most people would actually argue he'd rather not be in Kenyan politics if this is what we're going to see once he comes back.
You see, sometimes you must understand, Raila, when the country is at the brink of collapse, just about to collapse, he comes in to save and stabilize. But this time around, as one of his advisors, I've told him to akai kando completely. When he comes back, we want him to come and just now and anoint a team and anoint a king. Anoint a team. The team is already there, but just to support and anoint a what? A king. Don't forget that this group of ours, there are two things that we must do that are very significant. The first one, we are transitioning. That this generation which has been there must hand over power. And that is why some of us are there. To make sure that the boomers, and those who are there before the boomers, must prepare to hand over power in another few years. Hand over. So we must start preparing new people to take over. And part of the preparation is to make sure that the Gen Z millennials and women of this country take their rightful role. What I'm saying is, when we form government, which we shall, before or in 2027, we want to see 60% of government comprising of women, Gen Z and millennials. 60% as part of transition. So that in another few years, we shall be completely wiped out and you people take over and create a new vision for this country. In any event, our vision 2030, is ending in another 7 years. Or thereabout, actually 5. Now, 5 years. That was our vision. So the only thing I'm asking you people to do is to help us complete our vision, to correct the wrongs that have been made by our generation, and to hand over power to you people when the slate is clean. We need to hand over.
And that is
we must prepare you. Vision 2030 ends in 5 years.
Based on my question,
there's no way my generation can oversee another vision. The time is not on our side. Vision 2050 say. Vision 2030 ending in 5 years. The next vision is Vision 2050 or 2055. You think we shall be strong enough to oversee that vision? The only thing we can do is to complete our term, complete our vision, 2030, and start packing. We can be retained as consultants because you can't buy experience. You can't buy it from even the best university. Okay, even if we went to Harvard, the best management university we have in the world.
Where you went?
Yes.
And you're not bragging?
Not yet. There is nowhere there's no agenda that you can buy experience. It's not like a PhD. These people who buy PhDs, and we know them, they buy them. They buy them. They have not been seen in any classroom. They have not been seen in any serious, laboratory researching. But you wake up one day, one fine morning, you say, now I have a PhD.
Yeah.
This is characters who buy PhDs.
Yeah.
Earn your PhD so that we can respect you. That's why, Jed, I'm still struggling. And I've been offered PhDs by a number of institutions. I've said I don't want. I don't, sitaki ya kupewa. I want to earn it. And Jed, one of the things that I must do is to earn my PhD.
And so based on my question...
Not ile ya kununua.
Yeah. With regards
buying PhDs.
With regards to Raila coming back, you're saying that what you need from him is to help you in the transition.
Yes. What else?
All right.
I have said, Jed, there is no way my generation can oversee, can manage the next vision of this country, Vision 2050. There's no way.
All right.
Even time is not on our side, energy is not on our side. The only thing we can do with you, when you craft a new vision, because we must help you to start crafting a new vision right now. We cannot wait until this one expires. And unfortunately, you have somebody in State House who is not thinking. The guy is not thinking. I've not heard him talk about Vision 2050. The guy does not even talk about Vision 2030, which is our vision. He just keeps on saying that nitapanga, nitafanya, mimi, nitajua, I know. What do you know? You know nothing. We've told you this is your job. Do the job. Go to Vision 2030 and start implementing Vision 2030. Help us to start preparing for Vision 2050. But since we have no capacity, we are going to do it.
Well, what a conversation. Kisia Magaing saying that the opposition is not widowed, and yes, indeed, they can transform this country and actually leave this country for a better generation that is to change the country. Just as always, closing remarks from Kisia as we're heading over to this weekend that is going to determine a lot for Kenya's political landscape.
Quickly, Jed, look for that video, that Malim. You know, this Malim man used to be my friend, but now I doubt whether he's still my friend. Just play that video, Malim.
And the same way that the Kikuyu nation cannot be threatened, or the Kalenjin nation cannot be threatened, or the Luo nation cannot be threatened, nobody is going to threaten us. I'll tell you that for sure. You can have it for free. If anybody wants to destroy Kenya, good luck. Bring it on. We will see where you go with it. You get my point? Because for the longest, this discrimination has persisted to the extent whereby somebody thinks that we are subhuman.
Faramalim right there, Kisia, talking about, other tribes, respect and everything. Why are we closing up with this?
Let me say this, Jed. Kenyans is for all Kenyans. Be it a Somali, be it a Luhya, be it, after all, maybe even him is saying he's a Somali, maybe it's not. It could be a Luhya. Maybe I'm saying I'm a Luhya, it could be a Somali. Only our mothers know. So we are all Kenyans.
Yeah.
We are all Kenyans. We found ourselves here. The only thing that I'm against, and I'm saying that every Kenyan must enjoy their fundamental rights. There should not be any form of discrimination. Okay? Because we are Kenyans. We are living in a civil society. But this amount of threats from the likes of Farah Malim saying, try. I want to remind people like Farah Malim. Some of us went to the river at 5 a.m. We went to the river. It was like this. my God. And we were done properly. In fact, those threats don't augur very well with people like us, Tirikis. This is a year of circumcision. Ukicheza, tutakupeleka huko kwa idumi. Mapangale.
Thanks for tuning into that conversation with Philip Kisia. Your closing remarks, Kisia. Let's end at that particular point. Have yourself a lovely rest of your day. Great Valentine's. Is there anything you want to add?
No. The only thing is...
Hey, unify the country.
No, the only thing is, Ruto, for heaven's sake, you are the president for the time being. Please unite the country. For the time being, unite the country. And please, Mr. President, you used to be my friend. I'm addressing you. return the pay slips to Kenyans. Take back the tax slip. Because Kenyans don't just have a tax slip. The pay slip is gone. They are suffering.
Thanks for tuning in to that conversation. Have yourself a lovely Valentine's Friday. Have a great weekend. See you next week. Let's see where the politics will be in this country. We'll be here with Philip Kisia for more. Goodbye for now.